Hello there and welcome to today's episode. We are going to have some fun today. We're doing Q&A. These are so fun where I answer your burning questions about Feng Shui, about home design, about holistic design. So if you ever have a question, message me. You can even now, if you're listening in the Buzzsprout app, you can leave a comment there. Leave a comment in Apple. Message me. Find me on Instagram at purelivingwithlisamorton.com. You can message me there. I would love to answer your questions. But today, we have 3 that I'm going to get into. Let's get to it. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, a podcast for busy women looking to de-stress and live with more intention. I'm Lisa Morton, and I'm passionate about helping you create a home that not only inspires you, but empowers you. Years ago, I was severely struggling with my mental health and wellness, and while I'd implemented yoga, meditation, therapy, and more, I just could not find that missing piece of the puzzle. And that was until I explored my home. You see, the interior designer in me had made it beautiful, but it wasn't supporting me energetically. Fast forward, and I've now been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've devoted the past 10 years to Feng Shui and a holistic design approach. In this podcast, I'll be sharing with you interviews, stories, and knowledge, as well as some super easy, simple tips that you can take on today. If you're looking to be more intentional and create a life and home that you love, then you're in the right place. Hello there and welcome to today's episode. As I said in the intro, we're doing Q&A. This is so fun. I hope you love these episodes. We've done this maybe 3 or 4 different times over the length of the podcast, and I love to answer your questions because I want to help you get there. I want to help you understand, and I think today's questions especially are going to help you gain a deeper understanding of Feng Shui. So here we go. Let's get into the questions. Number 1. I'm really excited about this one. I am curious about Feng Shui, but I'm not big on being outdoorsy or nature. I also really like my style. What do I do? Okay. You don't have to be nature and outdoorsy to implement Feng Shui. I always talk about bringing nature indoors, right? I'm always talking about filling your home with plants. But if this doesn't resonate with you, then that really isn't good Feng Shui. My approach is really to create spaces that make you feel good, following your interests, following your values, your beliefs, your goals, your wishes, your dreams. Doesn't matter if there's a black and white rule. Like, here's the thing, we just have to break the rules. And that's why I'm so passionate about interior alignment, because it's this approach to where we value and understand the traditional rules for a traditional approach to applying Feng Shui. But we live in a modern world. Things have to change. We have internet, we have electricity, we have life is very different. We're a melting pot of people with different cultures and values all living together. And that's just a different approach. So don't stress. If you don't want to bring nature in, you don't have to. That's what's so beautiful about these 5 elements, because when I use the 5 element system, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, then we can tweak your space. We can improve and make adjustments to your space without even having to deal with color or a specific, there's so many elements, okay? So let's jump in and I'll give you an example. So the water element would be represented in the color blue or black or navy, like those deep dark blue colors. But if you're not a blue person, if you're not a black person, you don't want to paint your room black, which I totally understand, then there's other options. Wavy patterns. A beautiful throw pillow with a soft wavy pattern on it would be a great way to bring in a water element. A tabletop fountain, actual water, is wonderful. Anything that feels fluid. I love a watercolor piece of artwork on the wall, right? Anything that has a fluid feeling to it, a light fixture with fluid moving, arms of the light fixture that hold the bulb, right? Anything that has wavy, fluid patterns or designs to it. So you don't have to stick with the color. Here's the thing, if you do like more clean lines and you don't want to get into the wavy pattern, then that's when you focus on the blues or blacks or actual water element. So we can move things around. We can shift things around utilizing the elements. And that is how it's just so powerful to be able to use the elements to adjust your space. So here's an example. If you said you weren't outdoorsy, and I kind of chuckled when I read this because have you guys ever seen, I think it was a tote bag I saw, and it said, I'm not outdoorsy, but I do love to drink wine on a porch. I couldn't help but laugh and think about that when I read that you're not outdoorsy. That's okay. You're okay. But here's an example. If you love a really luxurious vibe, a really luxury interior space with soft velvety finishes and mirrors that are reflective and sparkling light fixtures make you feel so luxurious. I mean, this is going to really help your wealth and abundance. So this is great. But it's important to bring in the other elements for balance. For example, an earth element, which is really grounding, could really support all the wealth and abundance you're going to bring in. So we use the balance of the 5 elements for your goal. So if you don't want to bring earth in, you don't want brown colors maybe, then we opt for, if you're selecting a sofa that's long, horizontal, and lower to the ground, has that grounding energy. So it can be subtle. It doesn't have to be introducing a brown sofa to bring in earth or a green sofa to bring in the wood element. There's so many options. So don't feel like you have to decorate in a certain style. I also want to say that you don't have to decorate with Asian decor around. You know, I have a few pieces in my home that I think are interesting pieces. I have a really great, cool red tassel, and there's symbolism behind it. But if you choose not to go this route, I want your home to look like you. And we're going to get into this in question number 3 a little more. But, you know, it's my passion to specialize in blending this ancient wisdom with how we live in a modern world. So if you want to learn more, go schedule a 15-minute free discovery call over on my website. Let's get into question number 2. How do I start adding rocks and crystals to my home? So you may have listened to a rock and crystal episode. I know I did one back when I did the Feng Shui for Wealth and Abundance series. If you didn't listen to that, it's a 4-part series. And one of those episodes, I specifically talk about bringing rocks and crystals in for wealth and abundance. So I will have some people that are like, oh, rocks are just too woo. This seems kind of weird. I don't want that in my home. But here's what I want you to step back and try to reframe. Think of them as nature. Think about these beautiful, magnificent pieces of nature. I'm always blown away by rocks and crystals. That the earth formed these beautiful, sparkling pieces, these beautiful, this depth of coloring and ribboning and markings that are so amazing. That the earth created this. I love to bring these into your home. It's just no different than bringing a plant or a bouquet of flowers into your home. It's bringing nature in. So if you're not sure about it, find something that really lights you up, that really makes you feel like, wow, that's so beautiful. I'm just inspired by the nature of this stone. Don't worry about any of its symbolism or meaning or the energetic properties of it. Don't worry about that. Just maybe start a collection of stones you like, of getting some different specimens. That's honestly how I started. I collected rocks as a child, had them in my pockets. We'd go on family vacations and I'd have my pockets full of rocks that I would find. And then it just grew from there. I started learning about the different specimens, where in the world they come from, and it just diving in deeper, and it's just become really fun. So I want to mention this. You don't have to have your rocks and crystals out for them to have an energetic impact on your space. They can be hidden away in a drawer. I know I work with a lot of people with pets. I'm a pet lover, I'm a dog lover, but I know a lot of cats might play with the rocks. I've heard a lot of stories. They can be in a drawer. They don't have to be out to work. They still have the energy to them. So place them out in a beautiful dish. Whether if they're small stones or a large specimen, place it out somewhere beautiful so you could show it off, or place it in a drawer in a cabinet. I want to share a couple of my favorites with you, but I also I had a note here to tell you about this. Oftentimes, you'll hear me talk about crystal window prisms. And it's actually a cut glass prism. So it's not crystal, it's not made from the earth. It's from glass, but it's actually cut glass. So if you hear people talking about a crystal window prism, it's actually not a crystal specimen. It's glass that's been cut to that shape. And this is a very powerful feng shui cure that I use a lot with so many of my clients, and you'll probably hear about it. If you are reading any feng shui books or listening to anyone else, then you're probably going to hear about these cut glass prisms, but they are glass. So let's get into my 3 favorite stones for your home. So number 1 is amethyst. I love amethyst at your front door. Amethyst is a beautiful purple stone, typically found in South America. Sometimes you'll see a variety depending on where. Brazil has a typical a little more bluish purple. You might see a little more red from some other areas of the world, and it's just so pretty. But what I love about amethyst is it transmutes energy. So if there's someone's walking in your door with this heavy, having a rough day energy, it's going to shift that energy. So when they come across that threshold into your sacred space, into your home, it's going to shift that. So I love amethyst. This is good for any guest. This is also good for you. I have amethyst around my door. And you can also apply this to your garage. So because this is for myself, right? I have amethyst around my door. And as I'm walking across that threshold, I think about rinsing away any energy that isn't serving me and leaving it outside, not taking that into my home with me. Okay, so amethyst at your front door. Number 2 is rose quartz. Rose quartz, also found in South America. It's a soft, gentle pink. Rose quartz is the stone of love and compassion. It's a beautiful stone to work with if you're looking for more love in your life. You're looking for a partner. It's also great if you're looking for just more self-love. I like to place a rose quartz on the nightstand. It's kind of that great spot. It just feels right placing next to your nightstand. You can sit there, maybe take some time before bed, sit and read or journal with your rose quartz right there. So take on a rose quartz. The third one that I love to share, because everybody wants more money in life, and it's so fun to bring more things to us, and then we can do more wonderful things with all that. I definitely get clients that are feeling awkward about a goal being wanting more money. I encourage you to switch that up. I encourage you to think of it as the more you bring in, the more you can do, like I said, good things with it. Okay, so the more I bring in, the more animal shelters I can donate to. So think about it that way. The more you can do for other people, your friends, your family, your children. But my favorite stone for wealth and abundance is a jade stone. It's a soft, beautiful green colored stone. You can place this in an important area, maybe where you pay bills, maybe where you go through finances, or in your wealth and abundance energy center of your home. Now, if you want help finding this, again, you can schedule that free 15-minute discovery call, and I'll help you locate this on your home. So yeah, that's how to start adding rocks and crystals. Those are my 3 that I recommend starting with. Check them out. And one last note, if you're looking for rocks and crystals, I actually started a business years ago called Good Chi. I had it maybe 7 or 8 years, and I supplied clients with rocks and crystals. It was great. I started it because I found clients were ordering stones off the internet, random places, and there's a lot of fake stones out there. You want to know where your stones are coming from. So find someone local to you. Find It could be maybe somebody on Etsy that you like, because you can find some at Etsy. Again, make sure they feel right to you, right? This is something you're bringing into your home, so you want it to have a really good feeling about the entire process. I do have a very limited supply of good G on my Pure Living website, and so you can go there and check it out if you want to learn more. But keep in mind, I still have shelves and shelves and shelves of rocks. If you're looking for something, if you need something and you're not sure the stone for you, then message me, let me know. We'll find it for you. Okay? Let's move on to question number 3. Number 3 is, how can I tell if my home has good feng shui? Well, how do you feel in it? Does it feel good? Something I love is when people come to my home and they're like, oh my gosh, it feels so good in here. That just makes me so excited because I work so hard at it. And when you are intentional about your home, you'll have this happen. People will walk in and they won't want to leave. Sometimes at the end of the night, it's like, okay, party's over, time to go home. But they love spending time. You'll find people love spending time in your home. So really, how does it feel? How does it feel when you walk in at the end of the day? Are you happy to come home? Or maybe do you walk in and you just don't feel very good? You feel a weight on your shoulders. You feel like you can't take a full breath. Is it relaxing? Does it support you in what you're moving forward, what your next goals are in life? Or your goal is tomorrow? Is it supporting you in that? Here's some other things you can think about. How is your health? How is your health doing? Are you struggling with anything? Because that could mean it's time to look into the feng shui of your home. How are your finances? Maybe you're making a lot of money, but it's continually going out the door. That's very common. How are your relationships? Maybe with your partner, or maybe just with friends, with your colleagues. Does something need to be improved? This is a great time to really implement feng shui, to take a look at our space. And maybe you even have worked on your home in the past utilizing feng shui concepts. But keep in mind that our homes are constantly evolving and changing because our lives are continually evolving and changing. So we need to edit, we need to update. Maybe last year you had this goal of starting your dream business, and now it's going great. And now you need to figure out how to get it grounded and organized because it's just taken off like crazy. Maybe last year you had some health concerns, and maybe you're over that. You've overcome any of those health concerns, and you're focused on sending your kid off to college next year. Right? Our life evolves. Kids go off to school. We have children. We get married. We get divorced. We go through things in our life. Maybe you just moved to a new home. So it's important to edit, to check back in continually as your life changes. If you're feeling stuck, if something isn't flowing well, then that is your cue to look into your home. What are your goals at this time? Are you meeting them? All right, so how can you tell if your home has good feng shui? Just be observant. Are you meeting those goals? Are things flowing in life? Simple as that. Again, if you have any questions, reach out, schedule my free 15-minute discovery call. If you guys have any other questions, I'd love to answer them on the podcast. If you enjoyed this fun episode, then please share it with a friend, share it with someone who might be interested. And of course, give me the likes, the follows, the 5 stars, subscribe, all those fun things. Of course, it helps me and my podcast, but also my entire team. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Special thanks to our production company, Influencer.tv, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good G. For more information, head over to the show notes. Be sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. I'll see you next time.